If you're producing that 140 UK dubstep, OG dubstep, or Wook Bass sound, then you need this new sample pack in your arsenal, and I'll show you why. The Avant 140 Bass production suite includes over 3,500 files and tools, 450 Serum 1 and Vital presets, 120 Serum 2 presets, Ableton project files, insane vocals, and so much more. We teamed up with the top bass music producers in the scene to create sample packs that truly set a new standard for production suites. If you knew who was behind these samples, presets, project files, and tools, you'd understand why they're so insanely powerful. So let's hop into the suite so I can show you why this release is an absolute must-have for producers of any level. First thing I want to go over, and the thing that you guys are probably most excited to see, are these presets. Not only do you get over 450 Serum 1 and Vital presets, but we also made sure to include an entire brand new Serum 2 preset pack for this as well. And we're going to play them in context over these drum loops. Everything that you hear in these project files is included in the pack, and you get access to everything. It's just better to show these presets in context and show you what they can do. And all these presets that you're hearing are going to be like 90% out of the box. The only post-processing that we did is slight compression, a little bit of EQ, and maybe slight saturation, but all the presets you're hearing are like exactly what you're going to be getting out of the box with them. We really wanted to focus on that UK bass and kind of 140 style blowing up right now from like Tape B, Hamdi, those kinds of guys. We also wanted to include a ton of stuff for that like more Wook style, kind of Subtronics inspired Wook stuff as well. We have a ton of different variations in the bass sounds, sustains, wubs, OG, kind of growls, tons of insane stuff. Like I said, we wanted to include all those iconic sounds, but also innovative sounds to help push the genre forward and kind of spark fresh new ideas for you to, you know, help evolve this genre and kind of put your own unique twist on it. That demo is like one of my favorites. It's so vibey and sick. And all those you're hearing are just from the Serum 2 pack. I definitely want to hop in and show you guys some of these Vital presets because they are by far the best Vital presets I've seen online for this style. Yeah, as you can see, we included like an insane amount of Vital presets to make sure to kind of cover that wide range of stuff that you're going to need, from like intro presets, sequencers, subs, massive sustains, super sick basses. We really wanted to go over the top with this one. Listen to some of these sustains. They're insane. And tons of other like absolutely sick basses as well. That one's so sick, man. Super sick for that like classic UK dubstep, OG dubstep sound, man. And of course, we included hundreds of Serum 1 presets as well if you haven't gotten that Serum 2 upgrade yet, and all these are absolutely insane too. And yeah, honestly, everybody killed it on these sustains, man. So something I'm super excited that we added to this release that we haven't ever done before is in the 140 bass MIDI pack, and that's going to be these drop MIDI kits. So what these are essentially pre-written drops to kind of help you spark inspiration and get ideas going. In each of these kits, you're going to get multiple MIDI layers as well as the presets that coincide with those MIDI layers. So I'm going to open a couple of versions of Serum 1 or Serum 2. They'll work for both. And then what you can do is you can drag in the preset, and then you can drag in the MIDI that coincides with that preset. And then if you do that for all the layers that are included, what you end up getting is kind of like a cool call and response. And in this pack, we included 25 of them. These are insanely helpful if you're maybe working on like a remix or a bootleg or trying to get an idea started for a drop for an intro that you made. It just helps like really speed up your workflow, get a few ideas going, and also show you how these presets should be used in context to actually write a drop with the proper kind of call and response and flows, and it's insanely helpful to have. This one includes 3 layers, so you just kind of drag and drop each different layer together. Super sick to have, man. And this one literally comes with 6 different layers, so you can really pick and pull different flows and kind of ideas for different flows. And then what you can do, because you have these presets and MIDI, is you can completely customize these, right? You can then take an idea and a call and response or a flow that you really, really like, and you can adjust the MIDI. You can go into the preset, reverse engineer it, make it yours, and kind of put your unique twist on it and make sure you're not kind of sounding like everybody else. That's what our packs are made for. They're made to spark inspiration, show you how you should be making these tracks, then help you find your own unique sound within the sounds that we're kind of, giving you. So then let's hop into our drum loop expansion pack here. And these are a ton of insane drum loops. The 140 suite also comes with a ton of different drum loops as well, but these are some of my favorites in here. And of course, with all of our drum loops, not only are you going to get the full drum loop, but you're also going to get all of those drum loops stemmed so that you can mix and match and pick and pull different parts and kind of create unique flows and unique ideas. And plus with the stems, it's really easy to pull one shots out of them. So if you want to pull any additional shots out of these, you can. Of course, these are all made with the one shots that are included in the 140 Bass 01 pack. So you have access to each different layer. And that's why I believe our packs are so good for newer producers, because we kind of have the building blocks to learning how to make these sounds. And then if you're a more expert producer, you have all those different pieces in one shots and samples to then resample and do whatever you want with. And we can just start, playing some of the full loops and see which one fits. I mean, that one's sick, but let's look through some more. So that one's sick. I like that one. I think it fits well with the flow. So let's open the kit now. And then we have all of our stems right here. But I think you could use a little bit more complexity in the hats because that's really important to the style. So let's listen to some of the other drum loops. I really like these kind of hats, the kind of flowy, bouncy hats in these. So let's grab those from that stems. And let's layer that in. See how that sounds. Super sick. We can bring those hats down a little bit so they sit in the background. And that's what I mean. You can just mix and match and pull different layers, different kicks, different snares, whatever you want to change. You have the possibility to change them with all these stems. And then, like I said, these are out-of-the-box presets. There's absolutely no post-processing on this so far. I've done absolutely nothing, just a G-clip on the master for basic clipping. I'm gonna throw in some sidechain real quick just to clean everything up. And now, another massive part of this genre is vocals, and we definitely didn't miss out on anything there. Included an entire vocal pack with female vocals, male vocals, hooks, verses, and most importantly, those classic vocal chops that have become a super important part of this genre and the flow and the bounciness of it. So let's grab some of these vocal chops, let's look through them. Of course, we included the dry and wet versions. For sake of time, we'll drive some of these wet ones in. I love this one. It kind of has like a little motif in the vocal chop. It's not just a quarter note vocal chop or whatever. That one's sick, but let's look through some other ones. I like the female ones too, so let's try that. What would happen if we pitched this up to kind of sound more female? We could even layer them. Super sick, but I want to add a little bit more reverb, so let's go ahead and throw that in here. And just like that, you can kind of see how these different tools can really spark ideas and kind of keep your workflow moving. Obviously, if this was something I was personally working on, I'd change the presets a lot, like I said, make them unique, but these tools just make your workflow absolutely insane, and they really nail like what this genre is supposed to sound like. Another important part of this genre is drum fills. We included 1-bar drum fills. 2-bar drum fills for that longer stuff. Super nice to have. 1/2-bar drum fills. And even some 1/4-bar drum fills for those quicker areas you need. All produced in context, so you know that they're going to easily fit into whatever track you're working on. Let's grab one of these and just chuck it in here. So let's grab some atmospheres for this. Way down. And yeah, just all the really, really important parts of just what you need to, have to make these tracks have an impact, Let's go back into the vocals and try to find a pre-drop. We have included a bunch of process pre-drops in here that are super sick. No mercy, I'm a man. So the DJ we get blocked. So the DJ we get blocked. And then let's find a little drum fill for that section. And then maybe a little FX impact. So the DJ we get blocked. Little FX in there, little FX on the downbeat too. And then of course we got the 140 bass build-up pack with tons of build-ups. Once again, everything is stemmed in them to easily mix and match and pull different stuff. But out a little build-up here. So I like this one, and then what you could do is you can literally come in here and pull out the different parts. So instead of pulling different parts from it, I want to add a riser to it. So let's go through our risers here. Each one of these are from those full buildups that you heard before, and you can even listen to the full buildups and like hear a riser you like from one, come in here. All these numbers coincide with what buildup that they're from, so you can easily pick and pull. This riser is pretty sick. And so, say you got a drop ID that you like, kind of using all these different tools to get an idea, got a little buildup that you like. We have tons of intro melody loops. All of them are kits, of course. We have 60 that come in the Avant 140 MIDI pack, absolutely insane. And then we also have a bunch that come in the melody loops folder in the Avant 140 bass pack. And the cool thing about these is they come with not only all of the stems of those each individual layers. So say you have this melody loop you like. You can find the intro melody loop folder, and you're not only going to have all the MIDI from it, but you're going to have all those individual layers. Super nice to have, because then you can not only pick and pull different loop layers and create unique melodies, but you can also then go into the MIDI and completely change up the MIDI, come up with something unique, and kind of use it just to kind of spark inspiration for whatever kind of vibe might fit your track. And outside of all these tools that we made to kind of spark inspiration and get those ideas going, we of course have all those core samples if you're a more advanced producer that just wants to create everything from a really basic level. I mean, we included hundreds of drum one-shots. All of these are made by insanely talented engineers and producers, and they're all super clean. Make sure to fit that really clean style of this genre. Make sure to just fill it with everything you guys need. A ridiculous amount of bass shots, a ridiculous amount of sustained shots, FX. Everything that you can imagine is in here. Everything that I just showed you guys is literally barely scratching the surface of the insanity that's included in this pack. Every single one of these Avant releases, we're learning more about what you guys really love and what you guys want to see in our packs, and we're continuing to innovate and make sure that they all come out even more stacked and even more stacked. And I think this pack is a great example of the direction that we're trending with these packs, and it is really going to set a new standard for what else is out there and the tools that are going to be out there for bass music producers in general. So I guarantee you'll love this pack. Grab it now below. Use the discount code in the pinned comment for a hookup. Appreciate you guys watching this far, and go make some bangers.